OG Pizza in Essex is locally owned and operated and is a proud sponsor of your Essex 73s. Give our boys Bill and Justin a call today for a handmade pizza made with quality ingredients. Call them at 519-776-0800 or visit them in Essex at Unit 1 on Talbot Street North, number 292. Original Guys Pizza Pies. Give them a try.
What is going on, all you beauts and beauties? Welcome to the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast, brought to you by GL Heritage, the official beer of the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast. I am your host, Brett Hedges, joined, as always, by the creator of Hat Trick Hockey, Ant Gaudet, with a special guest today, Harrow
Yes.
royalty. I really think that this guy walked down the street and said he was going to run for mayor of Harrow, aka Essex now. I think he'd get a massive constituency. And I'm not into politics, but I'm just saying one of Harrow's favorite sons, Lee Harris, joins us on the pod from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Lee, thank you very much
Yeah.
for being here.
I think I can't top that introduction. I think we're done here.
No problem. All right. See
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
We'll wrap
thanks,
it up.
guys. I'm excited. It's been a little bit since I've been on, so I'm excited to sit down and talk to you guys.
Is this what your third rip on here now?
I think third or fourth. I don't know. Maybe third.
I know you've been
Well,
on here
like you said
before.
before the pod, it don't count unless you got someone with some clout
Yeah.
running the show. So usually at this part of the show, Lee, we talk about our merch store and what we promote and stuff. But this week we've got
Yeah.
you on the show because you have an amazing initiative. You've got charity sweaters. As my dog wants to join us here for a second, you
There
can
you
go
go.
away. Okay.
You can
Yes.
buy one.
Um, Yeah, I'll get one her size. But Lee, you've got sweaters and crew necks that you're selling through the Lee Harris skating system, uh, and you're helping to help fund some research for breast cancer awareness, right? A cause that's very close to your heart. We'll give you the floor. Talk to us about the where the germ of the idea went and how it's going so far and how we can support you guys.
Yeah, it's honestly I'm super excited about it, and it's already blown my expectations of where it was gonna go. But it's been on my mind to do for years. And my mom battled breast cancer for 5 years, and she passed 11 years ago. So my skating system down here in Columbus, Ohio, has just been growing and getting bigger and bigger. And I felt like this was going to be the year that I wanted to pull the trigger. So we came up with this new design for our logo, obviously with the breast cancer ribbon in the middle, and we're selling hoodies and crew necks all the way to the end of October here. And 100% of the donations will be going to battling hockey moms here in the Columbus, Ohio area. But like I said, I kind of selfishly did this as kind of like, give back to, my mom and see how that would go. But the journey it's taken off, and the Columbus community has definitely opened up their arms to it. And we've already surpassed $5,000, and
Love it.
all the stories and emails and people thanking me for doing it has just blown my mind. Hearing stories about grandmas and moms and sisters, and I hadn't even thought about that. Wanted to help obviously the hockey moms currently battling, and even if it pays for one medical bill or whatever, it kind of does that job. And we've all been there. We've had families and grandmas and stuff that have been battling and stuff like that. So we all kind of put ourselves in that place. But it's it's been pretty awesome. We're only halfway through the month, and like I said, it's blown my expectations out of the water. So it's pretty special. I've felt my mom all the way around this whole thing. So it's kind of really hit home for me, but also to see everyone open their arms up, it's been pretty incredible too.
Mhm. Now,
Yeah, the response from the Columbus community
Yeah.
must have been really invigorating. It's a community that you don't realize how close a lot of people are until you bring it up. The fact that breast cancer, any kind of cancer whatsoever, people bring up and they tell their story, or just a piece of clothing, like you said, can resonate feelings of both loss, or just the fight that people go through and just the ups and downs of it all. Like I think it's a it's a smart idea, obviously,
yeah.
and to bring these people together. It's what hockey is all about. It's kind of like it's a small town within itself, right? The
For
hockey
sure.
community, And when you cross sect that with people that have been affected by cancer, it becomes a much smaller circle. So you're building community by doing this is what the main thing I was going to say. Go ahead, Ant.
Yeah,
Now
totally.
you,
Oh, sorry, go
you
ahead.
you also said that this wasn't like something that just like this was a thought that you've had for a little while now, but this is something that you just got going, right?
Yeah, I to be honest with you, life has been flying by. I have three kids under 8 now, and they're, obviously, as you guys know, how busy life can get with, family and everything. So, it's been on my mind, I would say 5, 6, 7 years. And
Mhm.
this year I just kind of, pulled the trigger, and so happy that I did it. And Brett, to your point, is it is what hockey's all about. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter how far you go or, any level. It's we all unite and build each other up and help each other when in need. And it's just awesome and overwhelming, honestly, is it would be the word of the response that I've had, and the families reaching out and thanking me. And I'm like, no, I'm like it's something that I wanted to do, but it's been awesome. So,
Mhm.
and I mentioned, Columbus has been open arms, but I mean, I have a whole box full of stuff going back to Harrow in Essex County.
Yeah.
So
Some
I
for
know.
us.
What's that?
Some for us.
Yeah, for sure. I get the whole crew at
Yeah.
down, which, thank you to you guys. But, it's everybody knew my mom. They know my
Mhm.
family. They, supported my whole family, my brother, sister, and I, and my parents and their business. So I think that everyone's just, they want to give back and feel that connection as well. And it's, like I said, it's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
How do you think your mom would feel about what you're doing?
Whew. Good question. I haven't thought about that. Like I said, I feel her around me, and I feel like she's definitely smiling down. But I think knowing her and her battle and how her outlook was when she was battling, she'd be so happy that I'm doing this for other people.
Mhm.
She'd be like,
Mhm.
"Yes, you get it, and you saw it, and you're paying that on for her." So she'd be obviously she'd be proud.
Mhm. Those things are sharp too, man. Those hoodies are like they pop.
I'm
Show it
setting
off, my man.
Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
like
love it,
that.
right?
I like
I
Like
love
that.
it.
I have a really good printing company down here, and I told them my idea, and they kind of took it from there and changed our logo a little bit and put the ribbon in there. And I mean, I made no changes. I looked at it, and they sent us like, "We're done. That's amazing. Let's go."
Yeah.
It's simple but so efficient. It reminds me of a face-off dot. It's got the Canadian flag in the middle. It's got the breast cancer the
It's got the
ribbon,
skating
the
guys,
pink.
two
Yeah,
skating things. Like,
Yeah,
I think you got everything in there.
yeah,
Dude, your
it's
hoodies are
sharp.
so freaking comfy too.
yeah.
Like
That's
I'm wearing the pants right now, actually,
are
now that I
you?
think about it.
Mhm.
They're so comfy, dude.
To be honest with
Well,
you, I started getting merchandise probably 8, 9 years ago, and I quickly realized, because when I open my closet, I look at stuff and I pull, oh, I want to be comfortable, and I grab the stuff that like it
Yeah.
fit moves with me. So when I started ordering stuff, I put a couple extra dollars into the material because people want to wear it, and that's probably the number one thing that people say is what you said, Anthony, is like it is so comfortable, and I'm like,
Yeah.
glad.
yeah, you kind of want this to be an everyday kind of thing that you want people to pull on if they would need to.
Yep.
Hmm.
No, it's awesome. And, like Anthony, I just remembered as we were talking here is that when I first started putting swag together, all my money went back to the Essex County hospice where my mom was. So that was the first idea. And so I think I'm just kind of rebounding off of that after a few years being busy, and October's just flying by.
Hmm.
So like I said, I had that idea before, and now, we're rolling with it.
Yeah.
Before we forget, how can they contact you directly to get these, right? It's you're just doing orders straight through your Instagram, or what are
Yeah,
we doing here?
they can email me, they can Instagram me, Facebook, if anywhere they look, they can go on leeharrisskatingsystem.com. They can, anywhere get my number from you guys, anything. It's honestly, if I could show you my living room today, I spent about 3 hours bagging it all up and getting everyone's name on it and stuff. And um it feels right and it feels good. And I'm excited to get these hoodies out there and people wear them. And they I get a lot of the parents saying, "Oh, I'm glad we're getting them here in October so we could wear them around." And
Yeah.
so it's special all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it on Instagram, I sent you a message and I sent Ann a message like, hey, like just a reminder, like he's only doing this for the month of October kind of thing. We need to jump on it, and I'm glad that we did. You can just send a whole bunch of that stuff to Ant, and I'm sure he will be more than glad to just drive it out to the people in the county,
There you
and
go.
he'll make those deliveries for you.
A
That's right.
beer
I like
stop.
it. I honestly, to be honest with you, I rather come in and hand those off. We'll do like, how the Penguins do the season ticket things. We'll go
Yeah.
hand these door to door in Essex County. It'll be like a homecoming for me. I'd love it.
Can you bring
Content
Rick
piece.
Nash down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not busy at all.
No,
No.
but that I'm sure that you have. I'm sure being in your position with the Columbus Blue Jackets, obviously skating coach and with
Mhm.
Ohio AAA and stuff, that you run into these people and you work with these people on a day in and day out basis.
Mm.
What can you tell us about who Rick Nash is as a guy and what he's doing for the Columbus Blue Jackets?
Yeah, so I obviously I got very lucky in his last couple seasons in the off season. He when he's playing for Boston, for New York, he still had his home here, and he'd started hearing about the training sessions that I did in the off season. So he came out and tried it out, and he fell in love with it. So I got to know him as a student first, and then he retired and took a year off here, and then has just made his way up through the organization with the Blue Jackets, and he's doing a phenomenal job on our player development side. And now he's moving up the ranks to he's the hockey ops director and stuff like that. So, um, getting to know him as a student and somebody that I'm teaching to now being, a colleague and learning that side of the business through him has been a pretty awesome journey. But story that I could actually tell you, I got a signed jersey behind after our last session. He went back for his last season, and like a month or two goes by, and I'm used to the wife getting all the Amazon packages, and so my wife comes into the house, she goes, "Oh, it's for you," and I'm like, "What?" No, I was not expecting anything. So open the box, and it's a blue shirt, pull it out, and it's the jersey, and it's just says, "To Lee, thanks for your help on the ice, Rick Nash," and
Sick.
just a classy guy. Didn't need to do that, but obviously I put that up in my
Yeah,
basement.
you got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that has to go up.
Yeah.
And the
Um,
reason why I asked is because you sent Nate Ant a pic saying, "Oh, sorry, we got to give someone let you try in your shirt first. Are you okay with that?" He sends him a pic. He's got Rick Nash wearing the sweat.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Having his support must be really big behind this whole cause too, right?
Yeah, and that one story shows you kind of his personality as a player. But I actually went to the rink to help his son's team out on Saturday, and he looks down, and I was wearing this hoodie or this crew neck, and he says, "Oh, that's nice." And I had the boxes in my car that I'm fulfilling these orders. So I went to go get one. I said, "Hey, would you mind possibly that you and I get a picture together, and maybe it'll just generate some more, sales?" And he's, "Yeah, absolutely." So we snapped the picture after, and that night I got a text from him thanking me for coaching the team and stuff. And I said, "Hey, I appreciate you taking that picture." And he goes, "Hey, no problem. My grandma had it, and also my mom, breast cancer." So, you know, he didn't like say it in person, but he let me have my moment. But later in the day, he kind of filled me in. Hey, this is something pretty close to home for him as well, and it's just like I said earlier, it hits all of us one way or another, and I think it's important that when we get an opportunity to help the next guy, then we do it.
Mhm. Um, one thing that I kind of want to ask you too before we get farting around and stuff on here is Johnny Hockey.
Yeah.
Obviously sent a shockwave throughout the like hockey world. You were the first thing I thought of, dude. When I heard of that, you were because we actually had you lined up for an interview,
Yeah.
and then we had to obviously cancel because everything that was going on. So can you just kind of like fill us in on just how everything went at the rink and how everything's kind of going now, just everything in general, man, because I know it hit you guys hard.
First of all, our condolences, right?
Yes.
And
We
yes, of
did say
course.
that on the
Yeah,
show
yeah,
too.
yeah.
That was like one
Yeah.
of the
No, and
first
and
things.
and, and to be fair, you guys all reached out at that time off the show and stuff like that, which I appreciated.
Mhm.
Um, but we've already talked about it a couple times. The hockey world is small, and we all feel each other, and we've all played the sport. So it's regardless if you knew Johnny or not, we all felt it and went through it, and we're all mourning it, and it's going to take some time for all of us, you know. But uh, I was lucky enough to be around him, to shake the guy's hand, to talk to him, to be on the ice with him and skate him in groups 3 times. So, you know, I have a little bit more of a personal side to it, but everything that I read and see, and, you know, from people that have never met him, I feel like everyone kind of has a little bit of Johnny in them, you know, and they got to know him definitely outside the rink, which is a pretty special thing. And everyone knows how close he is with his dad and his family, and his family came first. And that's why he wasn't shy about telling it why he came to Columbus. You know, he wanted to be closer to his family, and he didn't, you know, mince words, and that's why he picked us. Um, but you know, it's obviously a shock, and tomorrow's our home opener, and you know, it's going to be a pretty emotional night all the way around. But I think the boys are already rallying around it, and going to stick together, and it's you just gotta get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And the organization has done a lot of things to honor his memory. They're going to have a number 13 decal on the ice this year. I just saw that.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously an appropriate, it's, you know, similar to what the Windsor Spitfires did when Mickey Reno passed away.
Mhm.
You know, I
There's
think
a
it's
like
just
helmet thing too, right? League
Yep.
wide.
yeah,
Yep.
I think those simple gestures really just speak a lot to who Johnny was as a person, who and how many people respected him in the league.
Oh,
Do
for
you
sure.
agree?
Oh, 100%. And that was the thing, is that the outpouring online and everything that I was reading and seeing is, you know, and you still see it. It still pops up every day. You know, I can't go online, thankfully, without seeing a picture of him or video of him. And you stop and you look at it and you're like, wow, as special as he was, you know, on the ice, now we all know him off the ice even more. And it's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for me, like I said, I was on the ice in groups of 4 or 5 with him 3 times. But I would skate with guys. Well, what I do with the Jackets, I skate guys half an hour before practice, and then they'll do the team practice. And then if guys want to skate after, I'll stay out and skate afterwards. But most times, you know, especially last year, I would go up, take my skates off, and go sit and watch practice up top. And um, Guy Goudreau was always there. You know, he was just like all our dads. He's super proud of Johnny and super happy, and like critiquing him at practice. And like if he wasn't bringing it, he'd be like, nice, you know. So that never changed. And when he'd first come, I'd go like 10 rows above him and give him his space and not bothering him. And this one time he goes down and down the wing, and Johnny goes top shelf bar in, and his dad like hoots and hollers, and he goes, we need more of that. And you know he looks back at me, and so we started a relationship. And he said something else to me, he couldn't hear me, so I went down and sat with him. And I didn't know the story about Johnny and Matthew growing up, about the rink and all that, but I heard it firsthand from his dad. So just to hear him talk about the boys and his upbringing, and him running the rink in Jersey, and he was a skating coach, talking about a skate. So I had an instant connection with him. So um, after the tragedy with Johnny, my first thoughts went to Guy and his family, you know, as I'm sure all of ours did. But I being a dad myself, and then also having a super proud dad, you know, back there in Harrow, it's a full circle thing. You know, I've seen the whole side of it. So, um, like I said, it's going to be pretty emotional tomorrow. I've been dreading it, but also looking forward to it, because, as you said, the NHL has done a phenomenal job honoring his family, the organization,
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, Matthew. It's been, you know, they've done it really well. So I think tomorrow's just going to, you know, what the Jackets organization can do is going to be pretty awesome.
For
I
sure.
think it's going to end up being one of those moments where like you're always going to remember where you were on
Yeah.
that kind of night, like because it's going to there's you know it's going to be an emotional moment for everybody in that rink, and it's just something that you guys are all going to have to go through together. You know,
Yep.
Mhm.
And
well, that's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
but it's honestly, it's great to talk about. You know, like Anthony, you know very well that I couldn't talk to you for a while because I was like I wasn't ready. You know,
Yeah.
it took some time, and as you know these things do, but it's I think we're all getting through it, and it's just I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Can we
Dude,
talk some old school Bell River Canadians hockey?
Here we go. Hey, we just had our AAA program up in Windsor, the girls program,
Yeah,
and they there's a girls coach that played in Bell River with me. Is it Vance? I'm trying to, sorry, I could look it up quickly here,
he's
but
he's coaching he's coaching Lakeshore.
yeah, I think he's one of the AAA girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So see if you remember.
is,
Sorry.
is it
No, it's
Lee?
okay. The one thing I wanted to talk to you about is because you were probably the busiest person I've ever met in my entire life when you were a young teenager. You were figure skating at a very high level. You're playing junior C hockey. I'm sure you've got high school stuff you're going on. Do you look back at how busy you were back then and you're like, holy shit.
You know
Like,
what?
how did I pull it all off? Like,
Brett, it's really funny you say that because I brought that up a lot in the summer with the groups I skate. I do three, and I haven't slowed down, so
mhm.
that's the short answer. But I do back to back to back hours in the summer with younger group, middle group, and then my like U16, U18 group. And at some point in the summer, I brought him in. I said, guys, I'm not going to say this to make myself out to be great. I'm using this to, motivate you guys and see that we might be thinking we're working hard, but we can always work harder. I say, when I was your age, I would be on the ice 6 hours a day. I'd be 2 hours before school. I'd get out of school at 1. I had 2 more hours of figure skating, and then I'd have a junior C practice or a game, you know. And um, I do look back and go, how did I do that? But there was some days that I was drained and I didn't want to go. And I make sure that I tell my players that now as well. I say, hey, there's gonna be days you don't want to do this. And that's normal and that's okay. But 98% of the time I was happy to be there and I'm still happy to be there and do what I'm doing.
Hmm. When are you coming home again?
Definitely at Christmas, I'll be up, which honestly, that's right around the corner,
Are you
Yeah.
bringing your skates?
What's that?
Are you gonna
New
bring your skates?
Oh, I always have my skates.
I want to get you on the ice
Oh,
with my like U8s.
yeah. And we'll have to get to a shinny or two.
Oh well, yeah, I gotta snap you some breakout
That's right.
passes.
Brett, Anthony's got the best like sauce. He's unbelievable.
He's
He's un-
he's pretty solid. Yeah,
he's
he's fed me a couple
unbelievable.
of really good feeds into the slot before. It's unfortunately because I dumped him in the corner by accident, but
That was off of a face off though. That wasn't really like me
that's
like
true.
feeding you. No, but Lee likes because Lee's fast, so he likes to just curl, and then I hit him with like a long stretch pass, and it's always like right in stride. It just looks good.
That's another thing that like well, if you mention a two-line pass to like the new generation, they think you're crazy. Like,
Mhm.
what is that? But I
Yeah.
never played without the red line. I wish I would have been able to
Imagine
wheel.
you did.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's
that just gives you another like 15 feet of room, 20
oh
feet
for
of
sure.
room. Like,
I
bye.
I
And
would
when
do,
you look back at it, that's not even that long of a pass. Like,
I
why
know.
didn't they outlaw it before?
Yeah.
Like two
We
line
used to
pass.
have
Oh,
to
like
catch a pass on this side of the red line. Like,
Exactly. So weird. So
yeah.
weird. But yeah, I mean,
Um,
in my teaching with the kids, I'm always, as anybody does, but talking about McDavid, you see, all the kids like see from like the offensive zone down all the magic that he does. I'm like, yeah, but where did he gain that speed in that space? If you go back
Mhm.
to defensive zone, watch him like loop back around crossers all the way up now through the neutral zone and then in the offensive zone. I said, like that's where he's getting all his space, his time and space there.
He's so
So
fast.
oh, he's unreal. It's just it's fun
I
to watch.
covered I covered him when he was in junior, and
Oh,
that like the Spitfires were bad at that time. But that was like one of the only games of the year. That and like Mickey Reno game where it was completely sold out.
Yeah.
And everybody got their money's worth because this guy was electric. And it's crazy to think that at the NHL level, he's making guys look similar to the way
Yeah.
that he did in
Yeah.
junior. Is that just freak athleticism, or is that paired with just an insane work ethic and training module? Like,
Yeah. When you're at that level, it's everything. You know,
mhm.
he's a freak in his just his skill set and his natural talent, his mindset, which is huge. I mean, like the different levels that I coach is the more open-minded players can be, even in
Mhm.
NHL. I mean,
mhm.
um, the cream of the crop guys that I've worked with have just they hand themselves over to me like, you're the skating coach, get me better. It's just that open mindset that allows them to want to get better and, just grind to get better every day. And I think that's a huge thing for these elite athletes.
Is
Mhm.
it just that they don't realize they have that extra gear that they can go to, or they just haven't built themselves up to that point? Or like as a skating coach, how do you kind of tell them like, hey, you can be here, but you can be here if you do this kind of thing?
Yeah, it takes time, honestly. Like you have to break down a player's barriers and you have to make them feel comfortable because, sometimes it might be a guy's insecurity that they're not fast enough or strong enough or powerful enough, right? So each player is different and my approach has got to be different and I got to let the guy kind of tell me sometimes what they think that they need to work on and we'll collaborate, we'll watch video. I will gently steer it to where I think I can add, so some input. And once they start feeling it and they see that it's making a difference, then obviously they're going to be all ears and want it more.
Mhm. Hey, so I want to ask you something that I've been wanting to ask you for a while, Lee,
Oh
and
boy.
say what you can about it. Don't, what can you tell us about Mike Babcock?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I'm
um,
just saying,
yeah.
don't say anything that's gonna,
Uh,
but like,
I was glad being growing up a Red Wings fan,
Mhm.
obviously I was glad to meet him. He won, one or two gold medals for Canada.
At least one.
At least
Yeah.
one. So meeting a guy of that stature and everything he's accomplished and stuff like that, and watching being in a coach's room and watching his brain work and his knowledge on the game was something I've never seen. How quick, like there would be a clip of a game on and it'd be on for 3 seconds and he would stop it and be able to dissect guys that weren't even on the ice or guys that weren't in the clip and like so watching him coach and develop a system and try to get everybody on the same page for something like that, it was pretty awesome to see.
Hmm.
So
I always wondered, because yeah, obviously guys who won, cups and gold like medals and stuff like that, obviously, but I just, yeah, like you were saying, you were like, I've never seen a mind like that, like break down
yeah,
something like bam, 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 bam. I always wondered.
yeah, I mean, like I bet you're like that with your job. And, like if I sat there and watched a game with you and I started like saying like my technical side of the game and the skating, this guy could be faster this way, keep his chest up, or,
Mhm.
find time and space with his edges, it would kind of be the same thing. But to see a coach be able to do it as quick as he did, I was highly impressed with it.
So was he like cool with you? Like, did you and him have any like interaction, like anything like that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, buddy. You know me. I'm gonna ask those hard hitters.
No, these aren't hard hitters.
No, but I'm trying to
Yeah.
like I don't want to get you
No,
like
no, you're not.
yeah.
Him and I sat down like I do with any new coach. I just did with Dean and with Don, the new GM, this off season. And you know, I go in there, say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. These are the guys that I've worked with, and this is what I can add. This is what I see. You know what I mean? Like, so
Hmm.
I had those conversations with every coach, and Babcock was no different in the fact that he's like, yep, the game's going that way, and any advantage we can get, and whatever you were doing last year, we'll add that into the mix, and so he was open to it. And then obviously after he left, with Pazzi, he was even more open to it, and we started something last year, which was a really good thing for the players, is that I gave like a, let's call it a skating menu, like quick feed or powerful stride or whatever kind of skating they want to work on. They get to kind of write that down and tell me that they want to work on it. So
Hmm.
my role with the Jackets, believe it or not, my 10th year, like
It's
with
crazy,
the
man.
Jackets, and it's flown by. But my role is started from just working with injured players to helping the scouts out, traveling now with our draft picks to go into their junior teams and working with them, and being on the ice with the team when they're here in town and stuff, and driving up to Cleveland with the RHL affiliate team and working with those guys. It's
Hmm.
I kind of get to touch all facets of the organization and I absolutely love it because it lets me see the whole process, and getting to know the prospects and what they need to develop and get better and how, excited and close they are to the NHL. It's pretty special to be able to do.
Mm.
Lee, that must feel like you have like that that you've gained so much respect in the organization for them to allow you to do that. Like anytime there's a GM or a head coach that switches up, it's not like they don't have to keep all the other people, right? Like, and the fact that you've been able to be in Columbus for 10 years, I think speaks worlds about the quality of coaching that you bring to the program. So first and foremost, congrats to you, because obviously you've carved yourself a niche in this organization where they think, hey, don't matter who else we bring in here, we're keeping Lee Harris.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the fact that you can go to each level of their organization and work with specific players, I think that speaks to just the versatility that you have, because the needs that guys in the AHL are having are way different than the guys that are in the NHL. So I just wanted to say first and foremost, like does that do you think about that and think, oh geez, like, I must be doing something right?
I did, to be honest with you, Brett. I haven't thought about that ever. And yeah, I don't think you're wrong, but because I've never thought of it on that angle. I just think I'm super passionate and I care about each player, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard when guys get traded because I put my heart and soul into them and I watch a lot of video and I text them after a game and, like, hey, that was awesome. Or, and it goes both ways. Like guys will score goals and like the next time they see me in the locker room or walking through, they'll stop me and say, hey, did you see that? So I care a lot about the players. I care about the organization. I care, having Rick Nash, like we talked about, go from my student that I helped and he saw that side of me, and now he's, in the organization and we're both on the development side. So he's given me that, that respect back, and he obviously sees that it was a great value to him at the end. And yeah, I've never taken what I'm doing lightly, and I'm still that boy from Harrow, skin at the
Mhm.
Harrow Arena, you know. And like even I think Anthony, you and I talking about this, I think. Um, so the training camp just ended obviously a week ago, and there was one moment where I walk out of the locker room and all the lights are turned off at Nationwide Arena, and I'm like, all right. So I walk through the tunnel, and I'm sitting there, and nobody's around. I mean, it's super quiet in a big arena like that, and I'm just sitting there on the bench, and I'm like, I can see goals from the Blue Jackets that I remember guys scoring and stuff in there, and then all of a sudden I'm like, and Lee Harris gets the puck outside the defensive zone, going through the neutral zone. Like we're still kids, and we still had these dreams, and I that's never been lost on me. But I love every moment that I'm around it, and get to meet these guys and help them out. It's special.
Mhm.
I was gonna add, because you've skated from the smallest little town arenas, you've been around the world, you've been on cruise ships,
Yeah.
doing figure skating, stuff like that. You've been to all these places, and now you've made yourself a home in the NHL. Do you ever think about like the roundabout trip that you've taken, or just everything you've done? You just think like, pinch yourself, like this is real. Like all the work that I've done it's brought me here,
Yeah.
and it all started in Harrow.
Yeah, no, no, that's never lost on me. I mean, I miss Harrow a lot. I miss Essex County a lot. And Anthony helped me out, and I went and helped the Leamington Flyers, the Lakeshore, Canadians, which was my old team, and Essex 73s, like that, was just incredible. And I think back on that is, just as good as what I'm doing here with the Blue Jackets.
Mhm.
Like it's just for me to be able to give back was just an awesome way to make this a whole circle thing. But I uh, I don't like to think back too much about like where I've gone and what I'm doing because I don't want this to end and I don't know what the next thing's going to be. Like I'm happy what I'm doing right now. I absolutely love it, but I don't want to put an end to this chapter.
Yeah, for sure.
Neither do we, but yeah, you
Yeah.
can't look backwards
Mhm.
until when you got so much going for you in the front mirror there.
Yeah.
Ant, what do you got?
Well, he had said something earlier about you hate when guys leave,
Mm.
but how sweet is it when they come back Stanley Cup champions, though?
Yeah.
Jack
Jack
Johnson,
Johnson.
right?
That's
Double
right.
J. So can you kind of feel, because you and him got real tight, right?
Yeah. That was another huge surprise for me. Not that I, worked with him. I've worked with Jack now, I think 8 years, maybe
Mhm.
9. So I've known him. Now I coach his kids. Obviously, I'm still like working with him. And so after he won the cup in Colorado, he still has his house here in Columbus, and that's the thing about Columbus. If you guys haven't been down here, there's a lot of pros that have gone on, made careers elsewhere, and they've kept their homes here and they retire here. It's a great city. It has a lot to offer. So that just opened my eyes, of what we have around here. But
Mhm.
Jack came back in the summer, and I get a text on a Thursday, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing on Saturday?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I have the Stanley Cup. You and your family can come." So
Yeah.
he rented out, like, it was a little mini bowling alley with all free arcades and everything. And um, we get there, with my 3 kids and my wife, and he's not there yet. And then all of a sudden he turns the corner, he's got the cup over his head, and it was just obviously pretty special to see that. And that was a pinch me moment. I'm like, it's a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. I got this picture sitting here down here in my basement. Okay. All right.
Hey,
Yep.
That's at
Lee,
the King. That's at the Kingsville Arena. When they,
What?
yeah,
look
they
at
brought it
this.
to Kingsville Arena. Yeah.
Right there.
So,
Right there.
um,
Next to the OG, I got the same thing with the cup.
like, there was maybe at the arcade there, maybe 75 people, and probably 10 hockey people. And I thought about it on the way home. I was telling my wife, I was like, there wasn't that many hockey guys there. So going back to your point, Anthony, how like close we got, that showed me, kind of where his mindset was. And it obviously I'll never
Mhm.
forget that, because
And
it's
that guy
great.
was a huge part in
Yeah.
that cup too. Like he was a workhorse during that
Oh,
run.
they loved him.
Yeah.
I have a lot of connections with the Avalanche. Uh, Chris McFarland, the GM, hired me here in Columbus. Bednar, who's the coach, he won the Calder Cup with us in the Monsters. So did Nolan Pratt, the assistant coach. All the players that had left Columbus and gone there. So their head scout Scotty Harris was there for a time. So I have a lot of connections with the Avalanche. So I would get texts and be like, "Oh my gosh, like his skating is unbelievable. He's a huge part of our run here." Like they're reaching out to me, and I'm like, "He's awesome. Jack's always been great."
Mhm.
And I'm really excited for him to be here. And I watched the first couple games already, and he's making an impact. He's definitely shown some, not some, but a lot of leadership in the locker room and on the ice. And it's huge to have somebody like him,
Yeah.
be successful and come back.
Love it. You
That's
okay there?
incredible. Sorry, I just get a little drink of water.
Okay, well, here, while he does that, real quick, now the opposite end. So when guys leave, okay, because
Yep.
I know you were close with Roslovic, Meyer, and Sherwood, right?
Yep.
So seeing them leave kind of sucks, or obviously for you, right?
Yeah, especially they're all homegrown boys from our AAA program here, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so they went all the way through our AAA program. Not when I was with a program that was before me, but so obviously they're pretty tight knit with the community, and all the kids know them, and they get lots of jerseys and stuff like that. But yeah, so Carson Meyer, he went to Miami, Ohio, then he came to Ohio State, and then kind of just one of those guys that just constantly just grinded his way all the way up to the NHL. And um, he's out in Anaheim, and I wish him the best. And again, I get text, and I reach out still. Even though that these guys are on different teams, like I said, I put my heart and soul into them, so I care about them. Like
Mhm.
Andrew Peak with Boston now, like him and I are texting back and forth, and how's it going? How's the team and stuff like that. It's um, and the AHL guys that don't even make the NHL. Like when I go up to Cleveland, and those guys are right on the cusp of the ultimate dream. They're the ones that are really grinding away and giving, everything they can at that last shot. And we won the Calder Cup, and we've had some really great teams after that. And a lot of guys had to get traded, but you care a lot about them, and it's hard. But as you guys know, hockey's a small world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're saying that you're looking forward to coming down in towards Christmas. Is there any chance you can get with our Sunday afternoon league and just take us through some simple skating drills? Because I'll tell you, sometimes if we're not stretched out properly, it can be a
Hey,
little rough.
hey,
Okay.
Brett,
I'm
you
feeling it too.
really want to make some guys mad? Hey, Lee, you want to spare for a game?
Right. I don't
Could
know.
you
35
get
and
him
up.
around
What?
for
He's 35.
Christmas?
What? He's over 35.
That's right. No, I wouldn't mind to get on the ice and whip it around with you guys.
You'd be
We
bored with
gotta get
us.
an old school Bell River Canadians jersey
I
with your
got
old
one.
number
Oh,
on
he's
it.
got one.
I got
Oh,
one.
no,
That's
I
what
need a new one for
yeah, well,
me.
oh, there you go. Yeah, no,
Lee,
that's what I wear when I'm around here.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you before I forget. I remember being a little kid. I don't know how old, but you were similar age to my sister Amy, so she's 7 years older than me,
Yeah,
and
so
so I remember. So you were playing for the Bell River Canadians, and I don't know. My dad must have gone to a game or something, and you gave him a puck to give to
oh,
me.
there you go.
And I
That's
don't know. I still have that damn puck, Lee.
that is awesome.
Like I still have it, and it's just those small things. And like I was joking with Ant and Tristan talking about this earlier. Is like I think like the power of sports is so special because I remember being so young and my dad being like, "Oh, there's Lee. Like he plays for the Canadians. He's a great figure skater too. Like this guy can do everything." And I'd see you at the rink or something, and all you'd have to do is just smile at someone, and
Yeah.
everyone would be like, Lee Harris just smiled at me, bro. Like, and I just think about like, the little things that like really get kids into the sport.
Yeah.
And now you're in that vein because you're doing the AAA stuff. How
Mhm.
exciting is it? And even with your own kids, like how exciting is it for you to just teach kids how to love hockey? Because at the end of the day, that's what we all love to do, right? We remember going on the ice with our buddies, right? Like, and it's just spreading the love of the game. Like, how rewarding is that for you to see it in your own kids or even in the kids that you're coaching in your AAA system now? Because it can only take one interaction for a kid to just love the
Yeah.
sport that they're in.
It's cool that I did that for you at that age because I still do that now. If I mean like I don't I to be honest with you, I think so the Lee Harris skating system, the power skating thing that we have down here in Columbus, um is all ages, all levels. All right. So like even tomorrow, actually this morning, I was on the ice with 28 kids from the age of 8 till 15, and they're getting up at 5:30 in the morning. They're getting on the ice at 6, classes from 6:15 to 7:15, and then they go to school. And these kids grind and they're having a blast. We make it fun. So um I think it's, as much as I've always said it, as much as I love being in the NHL and helping those guys out and being around it, I love just as much or even more, like you said, passing on the passion of these kids and seeing how excited they are to play the sport that we love. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We do a so I'll call the players in, and I would say, okay, who played on the weekend? And they put their hand up. I said, keep it up. All right, this is your brag zone. Who scored? And we go around and everyone's like cheering for each other and stuff. And, we make it light and fun, but we make it, they're all from different teams and ages and stuff, but we make them a big family out there. And it's pretty special. It really is.
That's
You got
exciting.
you got room for a 40-year-old beer leaguer in those classes?
We can do an adult. I've thought about it because we have like I think Columbus is the second biggest men's league in the United States. So I mean,
Really?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah.
let's go.
That's right.
Yeah, and Columbus isn't that far of a drive. It's just over four. It's about the same drive to Toronto as it is from Windsor to
Mhm.
Columbus. I actually had to fly into Columbus last year because my flight from Florida got canceled. And they're like, "Well, what's the closest thing to Windsor?" Like, "Well, you can fly to Columbus." And I was like, "Sold," and I'll
Yeah,
get someone there.
it's an easy
So
drive.
I love it. It's an easy drive. I've heard from a lot of people that Nationwide rink is a really nice rink.
Yep.
Columbus is a great sports town. Obviously, you've got the Ohio State Buckeyes there, and everything like that. But me and Ant can't wait to come down to Nationwide
Well,
Yeah,
for a game this
that's what I
year.
was gonna say. You
we
guys
were
coming
just
down
thinking that the wings are there January
January
2nd.
2nd, boys?
I think that might have to get set in stone.
Let's go. It's,
Yeah.
I
Patrick Hockey's going on the road.
Yeah, we're going on the road. What would be cool? You think we should rip another interview while we're there though, too, though.
I'm all game for it, and we'll see if we can get any
Nationwide?
collaborations.
Nationwide?
Don't put it off the table.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lee, how can remind our folks again how they can purchase some crew neck sweaters, some crew necks or the sweaters to support your breast cancer awareness
Yep.
fundraiser, and how do they can follow Lee Harris Skating System online?
Yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook. They can email me, leeharrisskatingsystem.com, lee.harris09 at Yahoo. Any way you want, just let me know. The hoodies and the crew necks are $40 each, American, sorry. But like I said earlier, the 100% of the proceeds are going to go to battling hockey moms right now. So the money's going to be definitely needed and used for a great cause. But yeah, they're going to go on sale for another week and a half, 2 weeks here, and we've already exceeded my expectations, and I appreciate anybody to reach out and get some.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Ours are in the mail. We're looking forward to. We'll definitely
Yep.
take some pictures when we get the swag, and help out whoever you can. And do you have any more questions? I have one story about Lee's dad before we
Oh,
can
oh God.
before we
Okay.
can.
Well, my last question is, and I'm just kind of being a little bit of a smart ass about it, but can you get us out for a rip on Nationwide or what?
Maybe the ice house, which is attached to it, it's our practice rink.
Okay.
Works for
I
me.
just want to snap you some breakout passes while we're in
Seriously, that would
Columbus.
be fun, eh? That would be fun.
That'd be good content piece, just saying.
Maybe I'll get on we'll get on the Jumbotron Hockey Night in Canada.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Okay, so quick story, and then we'll let you go, Lee. Thanks for being
Yeah,
on the show.
I
Fantastic.
appreciate it.
So Lee's dad was the local barber in town,
Mm. Staple.
and yes, Roger, and
Still
love
is,
him.
still is.
Mm.
Yes, sorry. I forget. I was probably 13 or 14, and I had the hockey flow going. I was like, okay, you got to go get a haircut. I'm like, okay, whatever. And my sister Beth, everyone, Aunt knows Beth, you know Beth.
Yep.
She decided, she goes, hey, why don't you let me cut your hair, Brett? Like, you're gonna go get a haircut anyway. Why don't you just let me take a crack at it? Right? I was like, sure, whatever. All right. So she just starts just hacking
Oh.
away pieces and doing whatever. And my mom comes in after a while, and she's like, what on earth are you doing?
Oh my God.
And she's like, I'm giving him a haircut. He's gonna go get one anyway. And she's like, Mom's like, this looks horrible. Go to Roger right away. And I'm like, no, I think it's fine. Like, I'll just rock this. And she's like, no, absolutely not. Go down. Here's the money. Go. So I go in there and I sit down on the barber chair. And your dad takes one look at my hair and he goes, who, and he's British accent, who on earth has been touching your hair? And I'll never forget it for the life of me. Who on earth has been
Yep.
touching your hair? It wasn't me.
Oh,
Like, and I was just die
love
laughing
Roger.
about it now.
Yeah,
Roger's the
And
best.
I just love it.
that's
I
great.
can't remember. I've had countless haircuts from your dad, and just like those small town stories, I just
Yeah.
love to death. So
That
if he's
that
listening, or if he watches it all, or if he follows us, thanks
We
Roger
love
for
you,
all the good
Roger.
haircuts over the years. We
we should be the
appreciate
Hat
it.
Trick Hockey sponsor. That's what he should be.
Yeah, he can
He's
just
awesome.
Oh yeah, Hey, funny about that. When we got off the ice today, a kid took his helmet off, and he's like one of the younger kids, 7 or 8 on the session, and he's got a lightning bolt right in his head. And I looked at him, I said, "My dad's a barber. When I was your age, I used to have a lightning bolt. I had my name, I had my number, I had like
Yeah.
pineapple." And I'm like, next time he's down here, he'll hook you up.
I remember the Nike swoosh. Kids would put
Oh
the
yeah,
Nike swoosh in
yeah.
the side of their
Really?
helmet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And anything else?
No, bro, I'm all set.
Lee, is there anything else that we forgot, or anything else you want to say about the Lee Harris Skating System or the breast cancer awareness fundraiser?
No, I think we said it. Just appreciate your time, guys. It's obviously you guys are killing it back in Essex County, and it's pretty special to me, and I can't wait to get back there with you guys.
I couldn't agree more. We're
We're
having a lot
coming to
of fun doing the
Columbus.
show.
We're coming to
And we're, yeah,
Columbus.
No, what?
book
No,
it
I'm coming
January
there
2nd.
first. All right.
Hey, if we can get a whole contingent of people from Essex County to come up on January 2nd and watch the Wings take on
Let's go.
the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ant's driving. He'll just attach like an RV or something to the back of the truck, and he'll just bring
Yeah,
everyone
good to
over.
go.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Lee. Have a
Awesome.
great night.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Take care. Thanks for watching Hat Trick Hockey, folks. From all of us at HTH, make sure you check out our merch link. Make sure you follow us on social media. And from all of us here, it's Brett Hedges. That's Lee Harris. That's Ant Gaudette, or Toolbox, if you'd like to call him that. You can call him whatever you want. From all of us here, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Hat Trick Hockey. Good night, folks.
I've lost my